I guess I'll start this video off by saying, don't trust me. My opinions are always wrong, and every time we make videos about predictions, it really never goes my way, doesn't it? Now, in my bracket for the 2022 Stanley Cup Playoffs, I did have my finals matchup as Calgary versus Tampa. I did have the Colorado Avalanche making the third round, but eventually losing to Calgary. We know that did not happen in real life because Calgary was not there. They kind of just waltzed their way to the finals, the Colorado Avalanche did. But the Tampa Bay Lightning were indeed the team that I had on the East making it to the dance. With that being said, though, my previous predictions videos about the Oilers and the Avalanche, as well as the Rangers and the Lightning, while I was 50% correct in the winners of those series, I was kind of off on the games played as well. Just to review what we said in the previous two videos, I said for Edmonton, Colorado, that Edmonton would be able to pull this out. I can't believe I said it, man. Oh, man. I was really believing in Connor McDavid, and yeah, unfortunately, he was not enough to go out there and actually beat the Avalanche, but I did say that I felt like the Lightning would beat the Rangers in, what did I say? 7? I said 7, but in my heart, I wanted the Rangers to win because I love the underdog story. But it's kind of funny because in this situation right here, Colorado versus Tampa in the 2022 Stanley Cup Finals, we don't really have an underdog. Now, you could say, oh, Tampa has won back-to-back cups, so they are the team to beat. They are the higher team, the superior team. Therefore, Colorado is the underdog. And that feels so wrong to say because the Colorado Avalanche being the underdog, that's just not a thing. This team is pretty unanimously the best team in the Western Conference. They are one of the best teams in the National Hockey League, and they've been this good for the past, 3 years. I think they have the highest points percentage out of every NHL team in the regular season the past 3 seasons combined. So Colorado being in the finals is not surprising, especially in a Stanley Cup Finals matchup like this one where they're going up against the back-to-back champions in Tampa. This is, for all intents and purposes, the most basic Stanley Cup Finals matchup you could have asked for, but it's kind of odd because we know in hockey, you don't get basic most of the time. Hockey isn't one of those sports where the best team always ends up winning. It's kind of funny to see the underdog teams, the Montreals of the world, the Vegas Golden Knights of the world going out there and making the Stanley Cup Finals. It's interesting to see which teams keep on repeating, like Chicago and LA in the 2010s, Pittsburgh, of course, 16-17, and then Tampa Bay. But this is probably the best series that we're going to have in a very long time in a Stanley Cup Finals matchup, right? Just based off of the star power, the amount of franchise caliber talents that are on both of these rosters, if you count it up, I mean, okay, you go Hedman, Kucherov, Stamkos, Vasilevsky, you could debate Point, and that's the wild part, is that he isn't even playing, and they still made it to the finals. And then on Colorado, I'd say that Nathan MacKinnon is definitely a franchise talent. Same thing with Cale Makar. You could debate Mikko Rantanen. I could understand if you said no. You have Nazem Kadri, who is playing like a franchise player now, and you have everybody else who is elite underneath that. Landeskog, Devon Toews, heck, you could say Valerie Nichushkin. There are so many phenomenal talents out there in this finals matchup that it's difficult to try to think about the previous year's matchups and try to say, okay, who on the opposite teams can outmatch this finals star power? Last year, I get it, Tampa was there, but who was on Montreal? Shea Weber, Carey Price? Sorry, but those guys are not at the same level of Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar. Even with the Dallas Stars 2 years ago, I mean, Joe Pavelski was pretty good, but come on, Sagan and Ben are not what they used to be. Point is, this is the best finals matchup we've had in a long time. I'm a fool for always making these prediction videos and looking dumb once the series actually ends because my predictions are always wrong, so don't go out there and place any money based off of what I have to say. But what I can do is bring up the NHL's matchup analysis of both of these teams. Colorado edged out the Lightning in points with 119 to 108. They had more goals per game in the regular season, 3.79 compared to Tampa's 3.44. They had a higher goals against per game, though, a 2.82 versus Tampa's 2.77. They were the better power play team, 24.4 to 23.6. And the Lightning were the better PK team with 80.9. The leading scorer on each of these teams, Rantanen and Stamkos. Stamkos had 100 freaking points. Rantanen had 92, so there you go, very good for him. And if you go over to the regular season series between the Lightning and the Avalanche, hey, guess what? The Avs won both of the meetings against this Lightning squad. 4-3 on October 23rd, 2021 against the Bolts, and 3-2 on February 10th against that same Bolts team. One was in Colorado, the other was in Tampa. The 4-3 win was in a shootout, while the 3-2 win was in regulation, so there you go, Colorado 2-0 against the Tampa Bay Lightning this season. And when it comes to how exactly that's going to affect things, I honestly don't really have an idea because, look, we've seen this throughout the postseason where Tampa can just really clamp things down. And even if they get quote-unquote outplayed by a high-octane, speedy team, they still know how to win hockey games. Against Toronto, I do feel like Tampa had the most difficult time in this entire postseason. I don't think the Florida Panthers nor the Rangers gave the Lightning as much problems as Toronto did. Yet they still came away on top. They beat Toronto in a Game 7 where you could debate Andrei Vasilevsky should have probably let in a second goal. Now, you could say he did, but it was not counted, but still, if you're looking for a game plan, the Tampa Bay Lightning have to go out there and play this Colorado series in the same way they played against Toronto, but better. They have to find a way to make sure that MacKinnon and Rantanen and Landeskog and Kadri and Burakovsky and Nichushkin and all the other very good depth pieces. Heck, JT Compher had a great series last series against Edmonton. Find a way to shut these guys down. And when it comes to defense, I mean, Cale Makar is free to do whatever the heck it is he wants out there on the ice because Devon Toews is so good defensively, and he can also wire a few pucks home here and there too, that it's going to be crazy. This is going to be Andrei Vasilevsky's biggest test, I feel, because even though you could debate that Toronto's peak star power of Marner, Matthews, Tavares is better than Colorado's, Colorado I just think is a deeper team. They're more of a cohesive team, and they're not afraid to just throw pucks on goal without trying to find that perfect, accurate, backdoor passing play like Toronto likes to usually fall into when they become that perfectionist team when they're trying to come back and win. It's really difficult to project the depth and everything because, in my opinion, just both of these teams are so strong throughout their entire lineups. Tampa Bay, we know how they can clog things down in the middle and make sure their opposition do not get any pucks towards the net that put Vasilevsky in a vulnerable position. You could debate the Avalanche did the same thing to the Oilers. When it comes to firepower, both these teams know how to score. Both these teams know how to put the puck in the net and make plays. If you're going to go out there and choose one fault for any of these rosters, I would say it would be goaltending because, I'm sorry, but Pavel Francouz and Darcy Kemper are not Andrei Vasilevsky. That is a fact, and it hasn't been a problem for Colorado as of late, but it was always a talking point, especially for all the coverage that we saw from the Edmonton series that, hey, they just gotta beat a beatable goaltender. They gotta go out there and play against a guy who definitely is not at the same level as a Jacob Markstrom was in, let's say, the first series, or a UC Saros could have been had he actually played the entire Nashville series. With that being said, though, Colorado has swept 2 of their series so far. They've only lost 2 games, both against St. Louis, and they have not faced elimination this entire postseason yet. They have just been so dominant that it's so difficult to even say that they are the quote-unquote underdogs, despite the fact that they're playing the back-to-back champions. Tampa has come back from elimination twice. They beat Toronto in Game 6. They beat Toronto in Game 7. They were not in a position of elimination against New York, although they were pretty close to being if the Rangers didn't blow that 2-0 lead in Game 3. But all in all, man, like, I can't even try to throw out a prediction. You know what? If I had to really clutch my heart now and just squeeze it really tightly, spew out a number, spew out a winner. Oh man, I'm gonna say Tampa in 6. I hate that I said that. Oh man, I want Nathan MacKinnon to win a cup so badly. Also, it would be kind of funny to see Corey Perry not win the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time in a row. Did you know this is the 2nd time any NHL player has been to the Stanley Cup Finals in 3 consecutive years with 3 different teams? Hossa, he was on the Penguins in 08. They went to the finals, lost to Detroit. He was on the Wings in 09, went to the finals, lost to Pittsburgh, and then he was on Chicago 2010, beat the Flyers. There you go, 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals appearances for him. Corey Perry lost twice as a member of the Stars and the Canadiens, both against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then I guess he said if you can't beat him, join him, because now he is on Tampa and now he's in the finals again. We will either see Corey Perry lose in his 3rd straight Stanley Cup Final, or we will see Patty Maroon win his 4th straight cup. He won in 2019 with the Blues. He won twice with the Lightning, 2020, 2021, now it's 2022, so we will see where exactly everything goes there. But talk to me in the comments all your thoughts about the Stanley Cup Finals series that we are about to witness here. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know your predictions and everything in the comment section below, as well as any more talking points you think are interesting to bring up in this conversation. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.